What's up, people? My name is Mr. Filthy, and this is Ryan, and we are recording the Raw after Mania in Las Vegas again for the 100th night in a row. We are in Las Vegas, and I believe, are we going to be there again for SmackDown?
Hope not,
I really
but
hope not.
probably.
I hope not. The
Um,
crowd is pretty terrible, and yes, I did just shit. If anybody heard that,
yeah, they didn't say where SmackDown was, but before we get too deep into this, we have Becky Lynch next week, and we also have Joe Hendry in concert, who they did confirm is now a full-time member of Raw.
I don't know. I hate to be the guy, but I don't get him.
I mean, NXT call-ups are the new norm,
It's
so
fine. I get it with like Oba. He's a good NXT call up. I don't understand why people like Joe Hendry.
I don't know. I didn't watch TNA, so I don't know how he was over there. So
He just
I
seems
don't.
like
Maybe that's why.
a T Moon version of John Cena.
It's probably pretty accurate. I haven't seen him enough, so but
Like
people he's very over for some reason.
he's like he looks from what I've seen of him, it's like Cody Rhodes and John Cena had a really like mentally challenged baby, and then that was Joe Hendry.
Maybe you're right. I don't know.
And maybe he's great. I just maybe it's like Danhausen. I didn't get it at first, and now I love him. But like from where I'm sitting currently, I don't get it.
Well, she'll see. We'll see if his concert's any good.
Oh, he sings. Ew. Not enough
Yeah, he's one of
songs.
those.
Fucking. Oh, I hate those kinds of wrestlers.
He's Elias, just better.
No, I'm never gonna like him now. The Honky Tonk Man was the last person who should have ever did that shit, and he was trash when he was doing it too.
Mm-hmm. They're trying something new when the Honky Tonk Man was the thing. But anyway, on this episode of Raw, we had Oba Femi kicking off the show, and this dude literally came into the ring, said the ruler has arrived, and then mic drop, and I guess enough said.
And for some reason, this Vegas crowd reacts to that more than they did at like the main event of WrestleMania either night. I feel like
Yeah, they were like this dude's entrance was literally longer than the time he spent in the ring,
his entrance
and
is extremely lame. I don't know. I don't care what anybody says.
like the little, you know,
Looks like he's trying to drop a poop out his butt. He said, "I'm trying to shake it off."
he very well could have just went, and he's trying to get it nice and dry. Next up was what?
I was say, I don't know. It just looks like silly. Like I don't feel intimidated by him going. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, ooh.
I guess the other people in the ring do.
It would be much like cooler if he just walked slowly down like the Undertaker. I feel like.
Yeah, instead of the little like hop thing that he's got.
Yeah, or do something more intimidating with your body. Who looks silly, but then you're supposed to be taken serious as this big scary guy, and it's only true because you are big and scary. But it's like you're also silly.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that. Um, Next up we had Rio versus the Kabuki Warriors.
Again,
Not sure, not sure why his SmackDown champion is on Raw, but neither
I'm
here
not
nor there.
liking this fucking tag team again either. I thought they literally said, "Oh, we're both finally done."
I had this really cool idea that obviously WWE doesn't want to go with because they would have done it tonight. If EO had turned on Rhea and was like, I want your title because I was basically your sidekick and I freaking helped you win it, and you didn't even think to like offer me a title shot as friends. But that's not the road they went down. I don't know why.
Where's the counter
But they didn't do that. They didn't
Sick of your fucking
cost.
head pointing
Yeah,
bullshit. Mm.
I guess they would rather just have them stay friends, which is fine. But like,
They gotta sell
I
the
don't
sex
know.
appeal of the potential of them looking like they fuck because every other second she's riding her waist for some reason.
She's always holding her in her arms with her.
I'm like, just fuck on camera already, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
Rio ends up picking up the win with this with a Riptide followed by a over the moonsault, which sure, why? I don't know. We see Adam Pierce talking to Penta when Javon Evans walks up and says, "You know what? I'm gonna be champ soon because I want a rematch." Penta basically was like, "Well, my title's not going anywhere, so yeah, your answer is no." And then Adam Pierce welcomes Ethan Page, who's Raw's newest superstar, and I don't know enough about Ethan Page to talk about him, so I'm gonna move on.
He looked like a knockoff LA Knight.
He did. I think he probably is. He tells Javon, "You want another shot at the Intercontinental title? Well, I always get what I want, and I won't need a second chance to get it." And Javon Evans takes offense to that. They start arguing, and Adam Pierce makes them what I thought was a number one contender match, but we'll get more into that later.
Yeah, if it's not, then
Uh,
what's the point of even like teasing all that shit?
exactly. But it was confusing with what happened. That's why I wasn't sure if it was or not. But
Racism.
uh, we we get sad boy CM Punk who turns very happy very quickly. He comes out with no music or blank Titantrons, and he shouts, "It's clobbering time," and everything kicks back on, and he's happy boy. Punk, if you're going through a mental breakdown because you lost your title, it's okay. We're here for you to talk.
Nah, I said now I'm gonna kick Cody in the nuts and take his.
Punk talks about loss and people passing away, mostly about the people that work in the back. Um, he says the help of the fans with all the loss and him being champ gave him a good reason. He said he might have lost, but he's still smiling because he's still the best in the world and proved it by wrestling at WrestleMania. He says he's not Roman Reigns, essentially, by saying he's not going on vacation. He's going to stay ready because you never know when a championship opportunity is going to fall out of the sky. And then Cody Rhodes' music hits and Cody comes down. And this man's eye
Yeah.
looks like someone shot it.
Bro, it was purple. There was like glossy looking skin above it too that looked like it was like full of pus or something maybe. Or like, you know how
With
when
what
you get a burn it fills with fluid or whatever? It looked like that.
with what part of the boot did Randy Orton catch him with?
I was looking at the pictures of it. If you really look at the pictures right after it happened when he's in the backstage, you can see an imprint of Randy's fucking shoelaces on this man's face.
Oh, so he kicked him with the top of the boot. Oh
He
shit.
kicked him with the whole front of his foot.
God. No wonder his fucking eye was swollen shut.
He punted him. He tried to like pull his foot back slowly, and thankfully you can tell Randy didn't have a stiff foot. That's what saved Cody from getting probably serious fucking damage. But that's why he does that. If you watch how he throws his punt kick, he used to throw them full force like kicks almost, and then he started kind of like using the top of his foot and then like letting it go limp, so when it hits them, at least it won't like be a full force like leg hit.
Mm.
But even then, as you can see, it's still, which is also why it was retired. It's still a damaging move. Can definitely give you a concussion.
Yeah. And because of that, Cody Rhodes broke his orbital bone and is not medically cleared to compete. So
Is honestly the coolest part about Mania. I feel like this is the stuff that people should be like hyped about after the fact, and like everyone's so hating on this stuff. I'm just like, bro, this is cool ass fucking storytelling with unintentional consequences of like this man's face getting busted the fuck up.
literally, that fuck dude. I don't know if it looked worse tonight or right after it happened. It's been pretty bad.
Both were bad. He couldn't blink. I was watching the videos of him backstage. He couldn't move his like eyelid at all.
That's crazy.
I showed that to some of the people at my family gathering yesterday, and they were like, "What the fuck? Is he trying to blink both eyes?" And I'm like, "Yep, he is."
It's crazy. So anyway, Cody says that he thought Punk was gonna crash out and he's surprised. Cody also tells him, he's out here feeling and looking like a loser, and Punk said, "Oh, should I feel like a loser?
Yes,
Because I don't."
we should. Not you fucking loser. No.
At one point, Punk says, you never know when a championship opportunity will fall out of the sky, and he repeats that again while staring at Cody's title right in Cody's face.
And Cody basically says, "Anytime, bitch."
Yep. Right after Punk leaves, Cody's like, "Hey, just tell me when." No, Cody, he can't tell you when because what if he said right now, "You can't wrestle, sir. You're not medically cleared."
But then that's the perfect time to do it. And then Cody, with his ego, would be like, "Fine, I guess so." And then, bam.
But 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 I remind you, his move is the GTS that hits your face.
He's fine.
Fine with his eye bursts.
Hey, he literally came out and wrestled Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell with a torn pec muscle.
This is true. This is true.
And won, didn't he?
I think he did.
He either
Yeah, I
did
think he did.
because he's injured, but I'm pretty sure he won. And then they just like had him do promos for like a week or two to get better.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure he won that match. Dude, it's crazy how much a torn pec can look on the skin like that. It's just,
Yeah,
oh
it's
my God,
it
it's
like
crazy.
starts filling the area basically and causing it to bruise because that's basically a bunch of blood. He has a bunch of internal bleeding.
It's crazy. It's crazy the way it looks. Um, Ethan Page and Javon Evans is up next, and this match was good because Javon Evans was in it. That's why it was good.
Ethan Page is
Anything that,
very generic. He gives me the Austin
he,
Theory vibes.
yeah, he didn't do anything. The most notable thing that happened was Rusev came out trying to attack Evans. Evans fights him off. But when he gets back in the ring, he's hit with Twisted Wind, and Ethan Page picks up the win.
Did
Um,
Twisted win just when you like fart on someone while doing a 360?
if that's what you saw at the end of the match, then you're 100% yes.
I feel like that's what he should do for his move now. He said, and then does a 360 spin off the fucking ropes.
And they just like gag as they pass out. Um,
It's toxic. Toxic.
Toxic. Rusev attacks Evans and puts him in the accolade, and then Penta comes out to help. Penta goes to the top rope, but is pushed off by Austin Page, allowing a Machka kick and then a accolade on Penta. And this is where I said I was confused earlier because then Rusev stood over them holding the Intercontinental title on his shoulders. So there was a winner in this match. It's not like Rusev came out and there was a disqualification. There was a winner, and I thought it was for number one contendership, but Rusev is basically like, I'm number one contender. What?
No contendership for you, Rusev.
I don't even know what Rusev's doing.
Said you get nothing.
This dude came over from AEW, got locked into a feud with I forget who for like 3 weeks, and then just like evaporated. Sorry, but it's true. Rusev. Sorry. Um. So the Judgment Day come out, specifically Liv Morgan, because that's what the nameplate and the announcer said. Just Liv Morgan accompanied by the Judgment Day. Don't know what makes her more important than the rest, but whatever. I mean, Dom has a title too that he doesn't defend. Saying. So she comes out and she thanks the Judgment Day for a win. She also thanks Stephanie Vaquer because the fight reminded her of who she was. And that's the best thing because, it's in ring. It's her show. It's her title. She's talking about what comes next, and Soruka comes out. We saw Soruka last time, I believe, at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, because she was at Royal Rumble.
I do kind of like the Vince McMahon approach of not having two blondes fight each other because during their match, I basically couldn't tell who was who sometimes.
I feel that, especially since like they both like look similar. Like if you're just looking at like body,
Right, if you're not fully looking and you like just glance at the TV once, you're like, oh, Liv Morgan did a thing. I've never seen her do that before.
and then turns out, oh, that's not even Liv Morgan.
Why did she get tall and muscular all of a sudden?
Right. She's wearing highlights. She tells Liv that she is the top in the division. Liv thanks her and tells her she has some nerve interrupting her championship celebration. Bitch, she just complimented you. There's no nerve there. She literally came out and said congratulations, and you're the best women's wrestler like right now on the planet.
How dare you interrupt me with a compliment, you stupid bitch.
And then Liv straight up threatens her by telling her if she wants to make it to WrestleMania next year, she better turn around and walk away. And it's like, you can't be nice to people, apparently. You can't be nice to Liv Morgan, I guess. She's the bitch. But so Ruka says, "Well, I'm not gonna back down from a fight. I didn't come here to start one, but I'm not backing down." So Adam Pearce comes out and calls a ref out, and we get Soruka versus Liv Morgan.
Which was a pretty epic match. Like, Soruka is an aggressive one. She was beating the shit out of Liv most of the match.
That handstand thing that she did that turned into a backflip, I salute that. I ship it.
She's probably the most. She's the Javon Evans of the female division at this point.
Yeah, I was that's actually a perfect comparison. But for some reason, we like to bring NXT beef over to WWE when I know for a fact that like 90% of people who watch Raw or SmackDown don't watch NXT. My whole household and a lot of people I know are part of that 90%.
Well, it's got the ECW effect. It's never going to be as important as the main two.
Like, you're talking about 2006 ECW, right?
Yep. And even the other one.
Yeah.
Technically, even when ECW was at its heyday, it was never as important as Raw.
That is true.
No matter, I'm sorry, ECW fans. I know there's hardcore fans that pretend like that's not the case, but it is.
Yeah.
There's a reason why
the company failed. It's not. Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why this is not good. So the reason I brought this up is because Zarya attacked Soruka by pushing her into the ring post while the ref was checking on Morgan. And apparently her and Zarya are supposed to fight in the last woman standing match tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Soruka barely beats the count back in the ring and then gets hit with Oblivion, and Liv Morgan beats Soruka, which I can't even be mad that she lost, and I guess what you could call was her debut to Raw. because she was gonna win that match. I think, but things happen. Um, and as they're celebrating, Stephanie Vaquer's music hits, and she comes out and just has a stare down with Liv on the ramp. So,
Oh no.
is this rivalry not over?
I hope it is. I really don't care to see her. Like, I'm sorry, girl. I like you're hot and your in ring skills are on fire, but your promos don't have the fire that I feel like they would if you could speak Spanish with subtitles. Honestly, I'm okay if she speaks Spanish. We just need to do some anime shit and put some subtitles under her.
Yeah, like that whole thing where she was like arguing with Liv and Dom, and then they uploaded it later with subtitles. It's like,
That doesn't work. I already watched it. I don't care to watch it a
yeah,
second time.
I'm not gonna watch it again just so I can have some subtitles that probably aren't even 100% accurate. Just saying.
That, or we do some AI shit where we just replace whatever Spanish she's saying with English.
Do the best we can. Um, we get the Vision coming down to the ring, and Paul Heyman is losing his mind because the production crew has Brock Lesnar in the now, like when it says, like then, now, forever together. He's pissed because he's in the now and not in the forever category. And it's like, Paul, number one, calm down. Number two, he just retired less than 24 hours ago. And number three, if you have such a problem with it, why don't you go be a computer whiz and do it yourself?
And wouldn't he also just be in the then part?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But apparently he wants him in the forever part because Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I don't know why. So if you can hear through the booze, Logan Paul wanted to say something, and he blames Speed for their loss at WrestleMania. And this promo took about 5 minutes because the crowd just booed Paul out of the building because they just don't like Logan Paul.
Who does?
That's fair. He says he hates all the streamers that are coming to WWE. Isn't that you?
Yep. He's a hater. He's a self-hating asshole.
Like, so you basically hate yourself. Like,
He's Brian Griffin.
yes, he's the perfect. Yeah, he is. Oh, damn, he is. Um, Paul says to Gunther, "I owe you one." Like, Gunther's not in the ring. He just says this to the camera, assuming that he's watching. So if Gunther's not watching, well, then he didn't hear anything you said, Paul. He says, "I owe you one, and whenever you're ready, I will repay you." He then welcomes Braun Breaker back to Raw. Breaker says he'll be coming after Seth Rollins. Basically, he'll be attacking him whenever and wherever. And Seth Rollins' music hits, and I thought he hit him in the back, but it turned out he actually hit him in the back of the head. We know this because Breaker's bleeding like crazy from the back of his head. That or he popped his hernia. I'm not really sure.
I fucking can't.
Paul and Theory get the upper hand, but the Street Profits of all people come out and take the Vision out, fighting through the crowd. Breaker goes for a spear, but Rollins hits a super kick. But Breaker does hit the spear eventually, because Rollins just failed at trying to fight back, I guess. And then Breaker says, "I never needed your sorry ass, and everyone will remember you as a shell," and then hits him with the big running spear across the ropes. And yeah, that was that. What?
He just fucking rips him in half, basically.
Yeah, like it's gonna be interesting to see match, when it does happen, but it just seems like Braun Breakers are gonna just steamroll Rollins.
Potentially. I think that's
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely want to put him over. We get Balor and JD McDonough next. Finn Balor, not Demon Balor, just regular Balor, and he's back to his old clothes with the leather jacket and the boots and the tights and his old music. And let's just say his old music is a lot better than that Judgment Day bullshit. Balor clotheslines JD out the ring before the bell even rings, and they end up fighting in the crowd. Eventually, they do get in the ring, and the match starts. And Balor wins with a coup de grace, and then he's attacked by Dom. Balor fights back while going for the coup de grace on Dom. JD pulls him out of the ring, and then we cut to Gunther. Jackie asked him a question about him and Heyman, and he's like, "No, there is no me and Heyman. All Heyman does is owe me a favor. That's all he has to worry about." He says the what is this favor?
All right, Heyman, I'll see you in the bathroom. You're gonna jerk me off for the next 30 minutes.
Let's see. Well, the favor clearly has to do with the world title because he says the world should get used to seeing me with the world title real soon. I don't think Heyman has any more ties to Reigns, buddy. He kind of burned that bridge.
No, but he might be able to hook him up with a match, I guess, through management. But that's if they want to listen to his ass.
True. LA Knight throws some kind of insult at him, which I don't really understand why. Not really important, but yeah. Then we see Io and Rhea having a tearful goodbye backstage because she's a SmackDown champion and has to go back to SmackDown. Morgan's sitting on some equipment. And she says to Rhea, "Definitely be seeing you around." And Rhea says, "Looking forward to it." And you know what, Roman Reigns, you said you weren't a part-timer anymore, but we saw you pulling up to the arena and getting out of a truck. You weren't there for the whole show. You lied.
He said, "I'm too good for that shit. Fuck these people."
The Usos greet him in Gorilla, and then Roman tells them to come out with him. And
I guess the bloodline's back.
yeah, I guess so. Roman said he was going to be talking about the future, but he ran into his cousins and wanted to discuss family business, aka the past. And I know it's the past because Roman said, "Hey, I missed this, being in the ring together, and misses having their trust." And when they were all tight as a fist, they ran this place for 4 years.
Well, it's easy to run a place when you don't wrestle, dude. And you just make it
That's
for you.
that's very accurate. That's very true. He says, "I'm not asking you to serve me this time." He's like, "I'm asking you to just be my family and stand with me." Apparently, when you're twins, one of your brothers speaks for you because Jimmy says, "I speak for Jay." And, we acknowledge you as our tribal chief. Why, Jimmy? Why do you guys acknowledge him as your tribal chief? I know. I acknowledge other people who have never been tribal chief as the tribal chief more than this guy.
Bro, yeah. I don't know why they all of a sudden are just okay with him.
Yeah, it's they took so long to break out of the bloodline, and they had all these fights, and
Now they're back.
yeah, the whole thing's
Jay's fault.
it's a fucking mess.
Both of them.
He what?
It's Jay's fault. He ruined it for both of them.
Yeah, you're right. You're not.
Bro became champion and then failed, and then now we're here. Back at square one.
They put the ones up, and as Roman is about to do it, Jacob Fatu's music hits, and this dumbass Roman Reigns says, "I assume you're here to acknowledge me." Why would Jacob Fatu come out to the ring and acknowledge you when he didn't come out with you guys in the beginning?
Because he's Samoan, of course.
And Jacob says, "No, no, no, I'm not out here for that." And Roman's like, "Oh well, I can only assume you're out here because you want this." He's like, "No, I don't want that title. I need that title."
Yeah, need that title. Yeah,
He
that's what
says,
I mean.
he doesn't even, he's not even here to be tribal chief. He just needs everything that the tribal chief has: his Rolex, his cars, his shoe deals, this, that, next thing. And he said at Backlash, Roman's going to learn that he all gas, no brakes, yada, yada, yeet, something.
Shut it, knees.
In the jungle. Roman says, "You can't beat me." Roman says, "Maybe you can beat me, but can you handle the burden of this title?" He's like, "But what if it's the other way around and you can't beat me? Can you handle acknowledging me?" And then Roman, this cocky, you guys like this cocky bastard for some reason. And he literally says, "I'm going to give you the week to think about it. And I'll see you next Monday on Raw. And you let me know then if you still want to fight me."
Oh my god. I know they're about to put this dude over fucking Fatu too, and I don't want to see that shit. This man is gonna get squashed by Roman.
Yeah.
Give him the
It's
dub. Give him the dub. He deserves it. He did a great match with Drew.
it's tough being the first person to step up to somebody who you know isn't going to be like a transitional champion, because you already know that person's not winning unless you're Trick Williams and you're fighting Sami Zayn, because yeah. But
That's Sami Zayn. No one wanted him to be champion in the first place, probably.
I don't even know why they gave him the title in the first place, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's hard to be the first challenger for the title because everybody basically knows you're not winning. This dude just got the title. They're not going to have him drop it. Roman says he's going to be here all summer. Maybe he's going to drop it after summer, or maybe he's only going to be a non-part timer for the summer. I don't know. It's just like it's a match I want to see, but it's a match where Fatu just, they're not going to put him over. But what would you give this Raw after WrestleMania as a rating?
Probably like a 6.5. It wasn't terrible. I mean, nothing like too bad what happened, but it didn't stand out, and I feel like they didn't talk about what happened with a lot of the stuff, really.
No, they definitely didn't. There was a lot of stories that did not get expanded on, or stories that had something but didn't get followed up on at all.
Right.
So yeah, that's probably a fair rating.
I think that's pretty much it for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Fatu and Reigns, but I just wish it was somewhere further down the line when it wasn't so obvious who was going to win. But with that, I think that's all we got.
We will see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and let us know what you think. And we will see you later. Peace.
Deuces.